Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host, Superman, in the house, and we just keep pumping day after day, and it's still early. It's crazy part of it. We're still early, but it is starting to move, and we're excited. We're excited. We've got a whole ton of new comments to make about this market and what's driving it. So I hope you guys enjoy the show today. Don't forget to get in the chat there as well, and let yourself be known. That's how we like to rock. And of course, if you haven't shared the show on X, definitely hit the repost button. There's the link right there in the chat. Smash the repost button and help out. That'd be great. And of course, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit the follow button, and let's go. All right, so let's see who's in the house there. We got Hexcavator in the house there. Hey, let's go. You were nice and early too, Hexcavator. Big shout out. And woohoo, get excited for sure. 100% liked and shared. Appreciate that, Hexcavator. Big shout out for you. And we've got Brian in the house there. Good to see you, Brian. Sup, folks? Brian is here. Never fear. Looks like Toxic got banned again. I don't know. You're a mod, so maybe unban him. Unban him. I don't know what happened there. I didn't ban him, that's for sure. Toxic's a long-time supporter, represent. We got Q Baller in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you, Q Baller. Big shout out. Hope you're enjoying the pump, as Arnold would say. The pump is out there, looking very, very good. Yeah, don't forget to get in the chat there as well, and let's have fun with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's jump into the chat there and just have a look and see what I've got on a post. You'll be seeing lots of cool stuff getting out there from the monster thread this week. That has been a huge success, and spread it around. Now we're going to get into a little bit that I talked about later on, but let's jump straight into the markets and let's keep on track with where we're heading. Right, let's keep on track with where we're heading, and let's get into the stock market first of all. And go for gold there. But get in the chat as well. Let us know what you're enjoying in the old crypto market. Let me in, says Hexog. Let me in. Woo! You're in. You're back. You're back and you're bad. Always good to have Hexog back in the chat there. Right. Let's go. All right. So, we had the stock market there riding up again. And, of course, this is Wednesday's results. You guys know I'm always a day ahead on my time frame because we're in the future. But it is currently Thursday here, midday, Thursday, 14th of August. Can you believe it? But most of you, I guess, will probably be on the 13th of August. There we go. We got S&P 500 rides rate cut bets. Of course, this is the final seal of approval for altcoin season. Although I don't think we really need it anyway because we've got so many bullish, mega bullish things happening that are driving up value. But upbeat earnings as well. The earnings season was pretty awesome over the last couple of weeks, so that's been really good too. And of course, we saw the AI theme being a big theme there. The Dow Jones up 1%, 463 points. Another great day, up to 44,922. Let's have a look at the all-time chart, and we can see the Dow Jones there. You can see is pretty much near at the top, pretty much. We've previously been up at this level, but I can't see if that's technically a record, but definitely looking pretty close. Let's go to the yearly chart, see if that's a bit more obvious. Yeah, look at that. We're pretty much up at the all-time high levels. We've been teased there a couple of times, so we're almost about to break on the old Dow Jones. Will we do it before the end of the week and make a real separation there? S&P 500 is on the record, all-time high. You can see that right now. We're at all-time high, up 30%, 20 points to 6,466. And then the NASDAQ, which of course has all the tech companies in it, that is up 0.14%, 31 points to 21,713. And we're at all-time highs there. So that's pretty awesome. Fantastic there. So it's game on, guys, game on. And, Tom Lee for the S&P 500 is calling, 4,600. Of course, we're almost there. We're almost there by the end of the year. So that's a safe bet for him, I think, on that play. US dollar there, it's sitting at 97.56, just down slightly. Remember, as a reference point, it was 108 when Trump came in. So US dollar devalued there. Commodities, West Texas, $62.82. That's up 0.25%. Brent oil at $65.83. So not too bad on the oil. You can see, when way back in the last 8 months. Let's see where Trump came in on the January, right? So just before he came in, it was about $75. It is now $63. So that's pretty amazing. So what's that, $12, $13 there? It is lower on the oil price. So congratulations to the Americans there. Of course, we had some devaluation as well in that period of time. Brent oil there, $65.86, up a little bit there. And that's pretty much where it is. Gold, $3,416, up $8 today, 0.25%. And silver there sitting at $38.58. And we are expecting big runs on commodities, right? Because We're going to have an economic boom. We've got record monetary supply. We get interest rate cuts. We're going to economic boom. It's game on. Now, some of the cool things that we've seen is that we talked about tariffs coming in at about 300 million on an annual basis, but it actually looks. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent talked today about the fact that it's going to be much higher than that. They're expecting 1% added to GDP. That's crazy good, guys, for the United States. So it's boom time, guys. The golden age of America is just running up. We also see 6 trillion or so sovereign investment in the United States plus, and then we also got 10 trillion in private investment as well, particularly around AI and other technologies. It is huge. What we're seeing in the United States is going to be absolute boom, and it's going to ramp up really fast. Why? Because they are taking away all the red tape, so that they can get the building done really fast. Right? That's what we're seeing. So we're seeing, AI server houses. We're seeing, they're looking at micro nuclear plants next to these big AI houses because they need a lot of electricity. We're seeing boom in oil and gas industry. Really is starting to ramp up, and they're going to build ultra fast. So a lot of the rules of thumb about, it might take 18 months or 3 years to build or 5 years to build, are all being cut down real short. So you're probably looking in, that 9 to 18 month window for some of these places. And that is huge speed rate. That's probably as fast as you're going to get in practicality. We're going to see some massive gains there. So that is kind of some of the cool things. Fed rate expectations, of course, are growing, and that's pretty exciting. Oh, we got Brian in the house. I got to stop for that. Brian now celebrates 42 months of membership. Big shout out, Brian, and counting. Woo! That is fantastic. Big shout out, Brian. Yeah, that's awesome. And really do appreciate that, Brian. That is huge. We got to bring in something more for that. We got to go full mode today on that. So let's bring it in. And say hello to the family. We've got to get some celebrations in the house. Let's see what we can do with that, Brian, for you. 42 months. And, of course, he's been one of our 2 community leaders in the Discord. He's now moderated at the moment. His life is busy for Brian. And so we're going to get into that. Here we go. Yeah. Fantastic, Brian. Really do appreciate that. And, huge stuff there going on with Brian. So fantastic. And, of course, thanks for that huge support. He's given away so many memberships to the community as well. Really. Yeah. So thanks, Brian. We'll get the stuff out. Fantastic. So big superstar in our community is Brian. And, in the past, in particular, when he was doing a lot of things, he onboarded probably 150, 200 people into Hex and PulseChain, things like that. Was huge help in the Discord, and is just an all-round superstar in our community. So big shout out, Brian. And fantastic. We got TJ in the house there. Big shout out. TJ is here. Never fear. And we got Torus TJ's in with the shield there from Brian. Brian, we're still here. We are still here. Yeah, you guys are all here, guys. Touch wood. You guys still here. Been a wild ride, says Brian. It has indeed been a wild ride for sure. It's pretty crazy. We got Torus John says, I'm so burned out. I need a huge pump. Yeah, well, pump is happening. We're in process. Accelerate 42 months. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Amazing stuff there. Thanks for all the work you put in, boss. Hey, you too, Brian. Big shout out. And he's an amazing person and a wonderful person in our community. So big shout out, Brian. Bang Pulse Gang, Frank White's in the house. Nice effect, boss, says Brian. Thanks for that. That's especially for you. TJ says, to the moon, Brian, to the moon. And Brian's giving out some more memberships, so 5 crypto memberships into a Crypto Night show. So big shout out there if you're on YouTube, of course. It doesn't apply to X if you're on X watching. But on YouTube, there we go, 5. And, of course, Jofa's got one. Congratulations. Lovesick got one as well. Big shout out to you. And we got Matt and Barley. Hey, Matt and Barley is here as well, getting great membership there. Congratulations. MOS Spider getting a membership. So congratulations to you. And finally, wrap it off, Joey Torres. Hey, Joey. Welcome. And, of course, 5 memberships there. So big shout out there. And Hex to the Mars says, thank you, Brian. Much appreciated. That is pretty awesome. I think we can all agree that is pretty cool. So finally, without any further ado, one more fireworks for Brian. Let's go. Yeah. 42 months. 42 months. So there we go. All right. So he's one of the longest, I think, top 3 members of the channel. So big shout out there, Brian, and has gone well above beyond that. All right. So let's move on into the rest of the news. Yeah, inflation was broadly in line with expectations as tariffs continue to be largely absorbed within the US corporate profit margins. I'd say one thing about tariffs is actually in many of the sectors of that tariffs are in, their prices are probably deflationary, and some of the major metals and things like that. So that was to be expected, and we saw that back in Trump's last, presidency. So yeah, that's probably the case. We're probably seeing a lot of the inflation actually in things not even related too much to tariffs. This is probably the case too. So this gives the Fed the room to respond to the weaker jobs backdrop and cut interest rates from September. So this is really bullish. Tips the scale in favor of 25 basis points. But hey, look, I think they need to do at minimum 50 basis points. Expectations of a jumbo cut is 50 basis points in coming September were cooled somewhat after Fed chair nominee and former Fed President James Bullard downplayed the idea, saying it would signal panic. So that is where we might be. So somewhere 25 basis points at least, a possibility of 50 basis points. Let's have a look at the rate monitor and see what that's looking like. So 4 weeks and 6 days and 17 hours to go. Like I say, I think the window is very short. We're already obviously moving up in prices in crypto, but I think the window is pretty short, guys, because we've got the rich PulseChain marketing dropping, inside say a week or something by now, and you've got this time here 4 weeks and 6 days. So I think your window for really getting on the pump train is closing out for their lower end, so the lower end of the market. And so, yeah, it is game on. It is exciting, guys. It's exciting. We already see where that process already starting to happen. So we've got a 96.6% expecting a 25 basis point cut now. This is the first time we've seen this. We've now got 3.4% of the market expecting 50 basis points cuts. So that is now on the table for September. Congratulations. That's fantastic. And get excited about that. October, we move that to another 25 basis points, 67, 2/3 of the market now expecting a 50% basis cut by then, 25 basis points. And then we've even got 2.3% expecting another 25 basis cut down to 3.5. That should be the way we head. We should be cutting every single year, every single time this year. And of course, Morgan Stanley has talked about, I think, 4 rate cuts. So, that's the game that we should be playing because inflation is not that bad. So there we go. We got December there. We got 53% getting us down to 3.5 to 3.75. So that's a 75 basis point, 0.75%. And we even got 1.8% getting us down to 3.25 to 3.5. So that'd be 1 percentage point or 100 basis points, right? We're currently at 4.5. So rate cuts all the rest of the year starting to get priced in, guys. It's getting hyper bullish. Very, very exciting. All right, so that's the play. Let's jump over to crypto, shall we? Before we do that, let's see if we've got any more comments in the chat. Crypto is a big segment, so you guys know it. That's what we talk about every day. We've got Spike in house. What's up, peeps? Good to see you, Spike. Big shout out. And yeah, it's game on. It's game on for sure. All right, so let me see here. I think I've got the wrong setup going on here, but we'll have a look. What have we got on this place here? I think we've got some overlays. That's not too bad. All right. No, there we go. All right, so let's get into the mix here. We're going to go straight to the markets. And here we are on Ethereum, but let's jump back out. And we have got the market cap now at 4.27 trillion. 4.27 trillion here on CoinGecko, up 3%. So we're really starting to move now. 18,100 coins. We got Bitcoin there on the big move there at up 3.1% at 123,760. So it's just the move. We're rallying up for that 130 move. We've been consolidating under 120. And we're on the move now. So up 3.1% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum up 3% at $4,741, which is pretty awesome, pretty exciting. That's obviously lifting the PulseChain strategic reserve. We've got XRP up 0.6%, $3.28. We've got BNB at number 5, up 1.7%. We've got Solana at number 6 there, up 5.4% at $202. We got Doge there at number 9, up 4.1% at 24.5 cents, and then Tron up 2.7% at 36 cents. So we're well and truly starting to move. No double digits quite yet, but certainly moving up pretty nicely there. Now, best performer over the last 24 hours has been Solana there, up 5.4% at $202. Best performer on the top 10 over the last week has been a clear favorite, which is Ethereum at 28.8%. So that's pretty spectacular for Ethereum. And of course, we've got the strategic ETH reserve on the move, right? On the move. Now, in terms of the top 100s, let's have a look at that. We've got OKB is at number 1, up massively in the last 24 hours, 28%. It is sitting at number 35 now. That's OKB, and that's up 134% for the week. So a massive re-rate there overnight. Lido there up 60% for the week, down 2.5% right now. Arbitrum at number 53, up 46%, and that is up 18% overnight. Chainlink there, number 13, up 43% for the week. So real re-rates in some of these top protocols. And then Athena there, ENA, up 30% for the week as well, down 4% over the last 24 hours. So that is the mark right now for the top 5 and the top 100. So moving to top gainers in the top 1,000, we got Imagine Network up at 437%, so a massive re-rate there. OKB, of course, and OKT Chain as well, all both of them over 100% there. So pretty big moves there on those pairs. Let's have a look at the Imagine Network there, or Imagine, sitting at number 833. It's only been around since August the 7th, so we're only looking at a week there. It's got some weird pattern in this chart for sure. Down at 1.8 cents is now, what is it? So my bad, 1800th of a penny. Now got re-rated there at 1 cent. So a very unusual looking chart there. It's on the Ethereum network. Let's have a look at the website. That is the site there with the old Imagine. So it looks like what's like these images or something, shorts and social media with that as well. So you can check that out if you want to play around. That is on a re-rate. And then, of course, we've got OKB there sitting there as well, which is obviously a big mover in the top 100. And we've got some pretty unusual moves there. We've got $46 and then suddenly pumped out of nowhere. We are now up at $106. And the chart starts at the August the 7th there. So a huge move there on Ethereum as well. Let's have a quick look at the website, okx.com. Step into your layer, your X layer, deploy your future. X layer is a ZK powered layer 2 in network where we're building the foundation of a global versatile on-chain system there. So that is a big move there, that layer 2. And it is suddenly getting re-rated at a 6.3 billion market cap. Let us know in the chat there if you are part on OKB or benefited on that so far. So that's our top 1000s really. We've got OKT Chain there as well on the move, related to that, obviously with the same symbol, same sort of thing going on there. And you can see that too. So there we go. Sitting at number 362, that one. So that could be on a big re-rate. We'll see how that goes. Now, in terms of trending, we've got Luxo, Scale, and Notcoin are all trending right now. So that's pretty much it on the CoinGecko. Up 3.3%, 4.27 trillion. Bitcoin on the move. It's great to see it over 120K, and that is on the rise there. And Ethereum there also moving up towards all-time high. As we know, it was 40, I think, was it 48.63, something in that ballpark. And we're not far away from that. Can you believe it? We're about $130 or something like that away from the all-time high on Ethereum. So it's getting exciting, guys. Getting exciting. And of course, that will be the next resistance, right? Is the previous all-time high. But I think the market's just going to blow through it there. So that's kind of where we are. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Have a look at this chart. And of course, the chart's played out like a boss, isn't it? Has it played like a boss? So pretty cool. We mapped all that stuff out, and it's really looking good. Who else is in the house there? We've got a couple comments. We've got Benji in the house there, shilling the old chicka. Like it up, folks, says Brian. Definitely smash the likes as well. Don't forget to share the show on X as well. We're only 20 minutes into the hour, so we've got plenty of time to go. We've got Tombus in the house there. Well, that Liberty coin is going well today on Pulse. I'm not surprised. I mean, to be honest, it's you're talking about Peacock. Are you talking about Peacock there? You're talking about Liberty World Financial, of course. They've got the USD1, is it? USD1. They've been shilling on the old CNBC lately. Looking very bullish. They're the fastest growing stablecoin. It's the play. We've got the editor-in-chief and, of course, our promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show in the house, Crypto MBS. Good morning, Superman. Good morning to you, sir. And keep up the great work. It's looking really good. All right, so let's get into it. Bitcoin at the moment is pushing higher. Let's get rid of the overlays for a moment so that we have a less busy chart. We can see that we're bouncing off the 50-day moving average, and that is on the rise. So 50-day is currently at $115,000. Can you believe it? And we've got the turn of day at 102,450. So that's looking really nice. We currently just hit 124,000 live on this show. So we're hitting all-time records highs on the show, guys, and that is right now. It just happened right now. I can't believe it, but it did happen, and all-time highs on Bitcoin just happened live on screen. $124,000. Congratulations. That's amazing. Wow. So for you guys out there, enjoy That is fantastic. Happened live on the show, and it's great to have that happen. So cool. Yeah. It was fantastic. Isn't that fantastic? Record high just happened on the show. I can't believe it. That's fantastic. Got tears. Tears are rolling down. No, but seriously, that is amazing. That is amazing. And that is brilliant. So big shout out there. That is crazy, right? Woo! Send it, says Brennan. Absolutely send it. It is incredible. 124,000 hit live on the Kryptonite show. Fantastic. This is the luck of the Irish there. How's everybody doing from MVS? And Brian there with the fist pump there. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Bitcoin, 124,000. Here it goes, guys. Heading towards that 130 mark. It is brilliant. It's breaking out, of course. Breaking out of 121 and on the move there. We saw it break out here too. Look at a similar point here. Let's draw some little pictures because we always love drawing pictures. But I can't draw pictures because as soon as I do that, the overlays come on because that's what all the pictures are. But we're game on, right? So we've got a 9-day extension for the Chinese tariffs. So that's pretty cool. And of course, there's my circle. Look at that. I love these circles, man. Who likes graphics? I love graphics. That's kind of cool. Anyway, we got the interest rate cut 17th September. We're coming up to that. That's a few weeks away. But we've got, of course, Richard Hart is on the move with the promotions. So we're now 34 days away from that interest rate cut. And, of course, look at this. We've got only a few days to go. I reckon maybe, somewhere in that. So maybe the 21st we could see some news around that, all those 200,000 electronic devices. Pretty awesome. Brian says just under 24K on Combreka and Coinbase. Yeah, this is actually Coinbase that we're looking at, Brian. It's actually Coinbase that we're looking at right here. So yeah, hit 124,000. Pretty awesome. And of course, see this box here. This is the resistance. So we hit that and we smashed that. So bam, it's gone. It's blown away. That box got blown away. Awesome stuff. Now we also know we got more stuff coming around the crypto digital, right? SEC with its crypto policy, and of course we've got more stuff coming around the digital strategy and accumulation of Bitcoin and altcoins. So this price is just going up and to the right, guys, up and to the right. So fantastic. 124K today. Next year it could be 250K, 450K. So just remember that we've got to look into the future and see where we might be. But we are here right now, and this is what it is. It really is 124, and it's game on. So there we are. That is Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs. Of course, let's move to that. So we've obviously got Bitcoin ETFs. This here is a little bit behind, right? So it's not showing today's raw flows, but it does get up to the 13th. And we had, pretty modest flows coming in, 400 million a couple of days, a couple of lower days on the ETFs, on the old Bitcoin. But let's move over to Ethereum, shall we? Oh, actually, I just lost that chart, didn't I? I'm going to bring that chart back. Let's bring it back, guys. Bring it back. We demand it. We demand it back. And let's get that guy. Let's get that guy on the YouTube screen to bring it back. He's got to. He's a tough cookie, but we're gonna break him down. Break down Superman with using Kryptonite, right? That's the whole point of the show, the Kryptonite show. Well, there we go. We got Ethereum right now on Coinbase. And look, we this green line, of course, is the PulseChain strategic reserve. Look at that. That's the PulseChain strategic reserve. We've busted through that. We are well and truly in the money now. We're well and truly in the money. It's fantastic. That is fantastic. Brian says coin market crap. Yeah, coin market crap, maybe. Yeah, because they're all weighted prices too, Brian. Right, they're weighted prices and they're a bit laggy with the API, where this is real time on CoinGecko. This is the whole same problem we had with BankX, right? When they were doing their bridge, they were calling in through CoinGecko rather than real time prices and say DEX screen, tracking DEX screen on the DEXs. So it was the problem that they had. Same sort of idea. Blair says, and how's that? Hi all, good to see you, Blair. Big shout outs. Brian says, who else is happy? Time for a round of beers. I think time for a round of beers, Brian. I think time for a round of beers. It's truly worth celebration. So there we go. That is on the mark there. Ethereum right now at $4,741, and it is also busting a move. And of course, we know it's going to continue on. We had that golden cross back on the 9th of July, and it is game on. So it's the first golden cross too. So we're going to be looking at some really nice re-rates and consolidations before we have some violent pullbacks. You guys know that violent pullbacks are in the game when we get this big parabolic move to the right. So just remember that, violent pullbacks. And then, of course, it rebounds. It goes back up again. So it's not a rollover chart until, I think, quite far in the future. But we will have some violent pullbacks at certain points. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Brian says way ahead of you, boss. Just saying, he's already got his celebratory beers. Very good, Brian. Very good. Don't tempt Brian with a good time, says Brennan with the old beer emoji. That's true. And he doubles up on you, Brennan. He's got double beers. He's got clings. Wookie. I don't see Wookie in the house actually. Wookie might be at golf. What day is it? It's Thursday. Yeah, I think he might be at golf MVS. Thursday's golf day. So I think that's where he is, even though it's probably cold, damn cold down there in the South Island. But hey, it's just the way it goes. All right, that is where we are right now. So congratulations, everybody, looking good. And it's just game on. Yeah, it's just game on. That's all I can say. So let's have a look at some of the cool stuff here at the moment with the ETFs, shall we? Shall we go to jump to the ETFs? And let's switch over to Ethereum ETFs, right? So all we have to do is click a button, I think. There we go. Bam. That was how quick it was. Click a button, and here we can see the chart here. That look at us with the ETFs on Ethereum. Unlike Bitcoin, where they're a bit demure, here we have got some pretty big candles. But no doubt when we get an update for that Bitcoin ETF with the current day, it was missing a day, of course, then we'll see probably a green candle too. But look at this inflows at the moment. Just amazing stuff coming in here. In fact, let me put the US dollars, a bit easier to compare when I talk about Bitcoin US dollars. But yeah, we're talking about some nice flows there. We had on the 12th, which is 2 days ago, we had $524 million of flows in there. And of course, we're currently, it doesn't show the current day, but the 13th there, we had 73 million. But today, I suggest to you, we're probably really on the move here. So yeah, pretty awesome. In fact, the other day, we had a $1 billion net inflow into Ethereum through the ETFs, which is spectacular, right? Spectacular. Just mentioning that we just said, 300-400 million through the Bitcoin one. So yeah, some pretty crazy stuff. And of course, people are starting to talk about, of course, the great flipping of Ethereum with real substantiators now to get us above Bitcoin. So it's kind of the play right now. So pretty awesome. So the ETFs are on the move right now. There. All right, so let's jump away to the strategic ETH reserve, which is really the mega catalyst, right? The mega catalyst there. Interest rates are going to be very, very good, but like the icing on the cake, sort of that final seal of approval. But we already got all the buyers coming in. So regardless, they're coming in to buy Ethereum, right? Because now Ethereum is the big play, from multiple themes, payment systems, tokenization, Wall Street, everything is on the play now. And the first movers are moving in fast because it's first mover advantage, right? Get in, get a big cornerstone position before everyone else comes. So it's a pretty game on there. We got 3.57 million ETH now in the strategic ETH reserve, and that is sitting at 2.9% of the supply. We haven't had any new big increases here over the last day. You can see that here. Yesterday was the big one, of course, which was the Nexus, I think it was. So yeah, that is the play. That's where we are. So we're looking pretty good, aren't we? Looking pretty good indeed. So not bad there. Let's scroll down to where we've got the list here. Okay, Bitmine Immersion 1.2 million, Sharplink Gaming at 600k, Ether Machine at 345, Ethereum Foundation number 4, 231,000. Of course, the PulseChain SAC looking proud there, almost at $800 million. It is currently at 166,789. In fact, let's look into Richard Hart and bring up our little sheet there. Yeah, 790,000. So it's pretty much the same value. And we're 162 million in the money, guys. 162 million money. Let's keep that for later because that's pretty awesome. Let's keep that for later. And yeah, look at that. Number 5, Coinbase at number 6, Bit Digital at number 7, Mantle there at number 8, and of course Golem there at number 9, all over 100,000. So the entities are holding over 100,000 are increasing, right? So we added another one into the mix there. So Golem at 100,000, and then we got ETHZilla, which just came in yesterday. So it wasn't Nexus. ETHZilla came in yesterday at 82,000 ETH, and have jumped from the bottom of the table to the top of the table. And so that's a really cool move. Then we got another treasury acquisition vehicle, a BTCS, and of course Nexus down here. Now you guys, Nexus had 7,000 Ethereum, then bought 40,000 Ethereum, right, and jumped all the way from the bottom of the table to number 14. And of course they have just in the process of raising another $5 billion. So they're about to make some major moves after their $200 million play. They're now raising $5 billion. And they are looking, from the looks of it, to get right at the top of the table here in the top 5. And that would probably put them in at number 2, is my guess, when all said and done. So it is game on. We know Sharplink wants to buy at least another 400,000. So it is game on, and we're going to have more entities coming in. So it really is going to be game on here, guys. It really is going to be fantastic. Wookie is having a siesta, says Brennan. That's funny, dude. 162 million. What would that do to the hex price, says Brennan. Yeah. Well, let's bring in. Do you want to play a bit of moon maths? Because we like to do that. That is where we are right now on the treasuries. Let's just go to the treasuries themselves rather than all entities. And we can see we're now at 14. Keep an idea of that. You'll be able to come back to this video and have a little snapshot there of the treasuries. And of course, we're expecting this list to grow potentially, to 50 or so, maybe even more by next year. So keep a look out for this list. It's just very much in the infancy. Let's say the first 6 weeks. That's very early, right? So and it's a race on before Christmas to get your position. Remember, they're all competing against each other because they want to get Ethereum at the cheaper price. And so there's only so many OTC deals they can do, and they've got to have the right contacts. And then they've also got to buy off the market, talk to exchanges. There's so much stuff that goes behind the scenes, between existing crypto corporates that they can, like ARK, for example. There's only so much they can do, right? And of course, Kathy Griffiths is already backing the Bitmine mission. And remember, the big upside for these companies is not only do they get the asset value, what they call the NAV, the net asset value of the Ethereum itself, but they also get a premium called the MNAV, right? So you add those together, the NAV and the MNAV. And of course, that's what gets you a premium in price. And hopefully the market price floats around that theoretical price. And so you're getting an X on an X, a multiplier on a multiplier. So that is the kind of idea. That's the secret sauce. And of course, Michael Saylor did it so well with a strategy, right? Bitcoin with Bitcoin. So this is the idea. This is why we're getting a big flood coming in. And of course, with all the mega narratives around tokenization and payment systems and all the rest of it, right? And smart contracts, of course, on Ethereum, which makes it superior to Bitcoin. Now, with Bitcoin, though, we are going to see the second layer, protocols on Bitcoin using sats and stuff like that. So that's all going to be, it's probably starting to really bloom too. So you'll probably want to pick up some of those really targeted quality ones. Of course, we've covered that in the past before. So we'll probably pick up on that topic again as well. So they'll probably have a little bit of a late boom. Now, with Bitcoin, it's a little different, I would say. A little different because, on Ethereum, EVM chains and things like that, people are used to moving their coins a lot more freely. And over on Bitcoin, it really is a store of value. It's the digital gold. And so you do have a lot more Bitcoin maxis, a lot less attitude or appetite for moving their Bitcoin, right? So there is quite a psychological difference there. Just something I would say. And of course, Bitcoin, it is kind of slow, right? It's kind of slow. Like, I joked the other day, you could go out, do a transfer, maybe not on high payments, but you could do a transfer. You could go out for a dinner date, go to the theater, and then come back. And maybe Bitcoin's arrive back. I mean, you obviously can pay more to try and get it through faster, but that's it is pretty slow compared to EVM chains, and of course, very slow to compare to other chains that are out there now as well. So it is. Some chains are virtually instant, aren't they, these days? So it just depends on the setup. But that is pretty much it on that one. Let's jump away. Look at that, 3.5 million ETH, $17 billion. How high will this be in the future? So it's going to be much higher, of course. Let's check it out. So kind of cool. Now, obviously, people are talking about, if just before I leave Ethereum, Tom Lee was talking about, his analyst talking about 0.6 ratio back to the 2021 ratio with Bitcoin. And that really reached Ethereum. I mean, look, let's just round a Bitcoin up to 20 million, and we've got 120 million, Ethereum. So that's 6 times, right? 6 times. Obviously, we have a lot of staking in Ethereum as well, about 35-40%. So you're taking some of those variables. But he's talking about 0.6 or 60% of the price re-rate for Ethereum to Bitcoin, theoretically. I mean, didn't say it out loud because I don't think he wanted to, but he just said the ratio, 0.6. And so that's, that would put, 60% of the Bitcoin price, right? So it's like $70,000-$80,000, right? So that was kind of saying a target without saying a target, right? But of course, he's been talking about 16K Ethereum by the end of the year. On CNBC, he was talking about $8,000 sort of thing. But really, he said, that's probably too low, right? From the TV guy, he's basically saying, 16K, probably we were hitting by the end of the year, because these guys are all buying. They're all buying the millions, right? So Bitmine wants to buy 6 million coins, 5%, and be a sovereign put in the cornerstone of Ethereum. And of course, remember, these guys are all long players, so they're structurally changing the behavior in the old crypto as well, because they're going to be holding long term and just stake it and earn all the income, right, to get that MNAV, a premium upside, where they can just add a multiple onto the revenue for the future years, just like they do in the stock market. And that's how they make magical money. So if you're wondering how the way one would go into that, so you don't necessarily have to buy Ethereum, you can just go and buy a Bitmine immersion, right, off the stock market, and get a premium on a premium. So that's kind of their BMNR as the ticker. And of course, SBET there as well. Sharp Link Gaming also on the move, and many others. So let's see how it goes. It's explosive, guys. It's going to be absolutely huge. We see that Peter Thiel also revealed a 7.5% in the old Etzilla Corporation there too. That one has jumped to number 5. So all the big billionaires are out in there at the moment, accumulating more of the Ethereum. So we've got a lot of players on the field coming in. Pretty awesome. Look at us, BMNR, to raise offerings up to 20 billions to acquire more ETH. So you see all the headlines at the top here. It really is mega, mega huge here where we're heading. Yeah, Peter Thiel, 7.5% in Etzilla, sitting at number 5 there. And so we've got a lot of players coming in. Cannot say it enough, right? Yeah, FGNX, Nexus there, acquiring 47,000 ETH. We talked about that. And of course, more and more in the house there as well. Etzilla, of course, crying at 82,000. So the headlines are pretty awesome. And of course, BMNR to raise an offering up to 20 billion to acquire more ETH. So they obviously are trying to close that gap to get to 6 million coins. They are getting another $20 billion. So they're currently 5.5 billion now. So that would get them closer to, they're looking aggressively. So they're going to 20 billion because they want to do it fast, guys. Do you see what I'm saying? They want to do it fast because they're competing against all these other corporations. So they really got to do it fast. They need that 20 billion to get up to that, close to that 6 billion, that 6 million token mark. And so it's game on. And they're looking at the other guys. They already had a fast plan, right? They're already doing like 12 times faster than Michael Saylor with strategy, but the game is on. So this is as close to a certain bet in crypto or stocks that you can make massive money that you can find. I mean, it really is amazing. Besides a government contract being made, it is huge. So there we are. Game on, guys. 20 billion from Bitmine Immersion being sought to go and buy their 6 million coins. They need another 4.8 million. And of course, that's going to pump the Ethereum and the rest of EVM chains and second layers, and of course PulseChain as well benefit massively from that. And of course re-rate the old PulseChain stack, right, which is sitting at number 5. Isn't that beautiful? Number 5 there. Isn't it fantastic? Fantastic for PulseChain. And Richard Hart saw it early, instigated it early, and it's game on since then. All right, so pretty cool. Let's have a look at the treasury. We are looking real nice here. You know, we're almost about 800 million, 166,000. Let's have a look. And let's have a look at the impact that potentially could have on PulseChain. So we're going to have a look at that because we're going to have fun with a bit of moon math. Everyone loves moon math. And of course, it's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. Real. That's the worst actress in the world, but not quite. But just about there. All right. So real. I got to say it properly, though. I'm not doing it quite right. I don't know. It's the pressure. That's the pressure. All right. So let's go to PulseChain. And at the moment, PulseChain's sitting at 52.39, so 4 zeros, 52.39. We just like remove the zeros and just say 5,200, right? That's pretty much it. And let's do an injection. We've got all this money if we scraped it. Now, obviously, you can do lots of things with this money, right? You can do all sorts of clever things with the assets to try and do a multiple. You could really do some clever stuff. You can put it in lending protocols or something like that. You could do some sort of a psychological play on it with linkages. You could stake it and earn all the money. And of course, if you stake it, you're going to earn a good percentage, and you could just take all that money every single year and pump it over to PulseChain. Probably do $1 million, $2 million a week, and just taking the revenue from staking and just pull it into PulseChain and pump PulseChain every week for the rest of the time that crypto is doing well. There's lots of different avenues you could do on the asset and the income side of things. So those are the sort of things you could do. We're going to see exactly how Richard does the play, right? So, but that is where we are right now. Now, obviously, if we hit 15K by the end of the year, we're going to be sitting at 2.5 billion, and we're started to move in that direction now. We're now up $162 million. Let's do some up 25%. Let's just do some moon math and then just say that we're going to put all that 100 million into the market. But let's do 50 million first. This is a teaser. And so that puts us where? That puts us at 1,037% up. So that would be 11.4x from here for the old PulseChain. And that would put the price there at 0.0005900. So let's say 0.006. So wow, that'd be amazing. So 16 thousandths, is it? 16 thousandths of a cent. That's pretty amazing on there. So that is kind of weird. But let's go full degen. And of course, we're assuming we absorb all the selling and we have lots of retail going over the top. Other people buying on top as well, and maybe that nets out the selling side. Who knows? But we'll find out in due course. But let's go to the 100. It might take a bit of time to get rid of some of the sellers right there. and let's go to 100 million. So 100 million which gets us a 32x in the PulseChain. You said it couldn't happen. You said it couldn't happen. You said it could happen there, and but it did. It did happen there, and of course there we are sitting at 1700th of a penny, guys. 1700th of a penny. Do you guys like that? Sounds pretty good to me. And of course, that is mad gains, millionaires to be made in the old PulseChain that stay around. So here's a rule. Here's agreement. We'll do it. Remember, we're all going to. No one's going to sell. No one's going to sell, and we're just going to have the price there. But anyway, we had 1700 of a penny right there. So you can see that's just shaving off just 100 million there. And of course, we get up once we get up to $2.5 billion if we get to $15,000 ETH and then beyond, right? And beyond that, then we are now shaving off 100 million. It's nothing. It's nothing, right? It's nothing to do that. So yeah, that is this. I mean, it looks at back in the day, it looked kind of silly putting 100 million, but now it just looks, once we get to 2.5 billion by the end of the year, if we hit that 15K Ethereum, it's nothing. It's okay, yeah, cool. Just scraping off a little bit. That's nothing there. Whereas if you did 100 million on the original amount where we had 628 million, well, you're down quite a bit, right? You're down like 16% or something. So yeah, that is a big deal, right? So you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I just realized they put this little button there. I didn't realize it before. But that is the kind of play. So yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, 100 million. Unfortunately, the calculator doesn't go much further than that, but it does give you a good idea. So yeah, I mean, if you did 10 million, we're going to go 2x, right? 10 million to get a 2x from here, guys. Someone said Richard a memo. It's only 10 million to scrap a little bit off. Scrap a little off for 2x. But anyway, that's the play. But hey, look, there's other money sitting around out there, right? There's the ETH AA lobby money that's sitting off in the good old pocket. There's obviously particularly lots of potentialities there. We've got the OA tokens out there, a lot of Hex, of course, staked there, but there's lots of stuff that can happen on multiple fronts. And of course, there's also Richard Hart's own private stash, of course, that is out there too. But it's his money, so there we go. What else do we got? Some other comments here. Let's see. We got Brian says, "I love moon math. Let's play. Absolutely, math is real. It's real. Man, I normally do that really well, but I'm just not doing it properly today. We can prove it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Because we can predict it," says Brian. That's true. We says what we need is a Titan X YouTube streaming army. Says Titan X value. Well, you do have a streaming army, and I'm in that Titan X group of streamers. It is pretty big. So yeah. We're not up to Titan X yet, so I'm not going to read your comments until the end. And when we get to Titan X, we're talking about PulseChain right now. All right, so that is kind of where we are right now. That's the moon math on the play, so kind of cool. Let's jump away to PulseChain markets and get into that. So here we are right now, PulseChain, day 123. Let's move screen though. We're going to go into the small screen here. And we've got PulseChain day 825. Pulse at the moment is quadruple 0525, up 1%. At 52% of the mean sacrifice price. We've got Pulse exit right now is at quadruple 0402. Let's just take out the zeros, so 4,000, and we're up 0.75% right now. We've got the buy and burn sitting at 7.59%. So yeah, we are still lagging the market. Obviously, there's a relativity play as well, so people are keen on the Ethereum where it's pumping right now. So they look a little bit away from PulseChain and get a little bit of that. We have seen a little bit of slippages out of the bridges every day towards that theme, right? But it hasn't been major, but it's accumulated, right? We've got Hex at the moment is instead of token $2.09, up 0.4%, and we've got Hex at the moment at 1.25 pennies, down 1% right now, and EHEX there at 2100 penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is 1.45 cents right now. That is the mark on day 825. Let's jump over to the gas prices. We're sitting at 1.8 million beats, so 3 cents for a PulseX swap right now, and that is valid as 52,635, pretty similar to what we've had in the last couple of days. And the bridge, of course, it is going up probably just slightly up from yesterday, not majorly, because ETH is leaving the bridge, unfortunately. So yeah, that is a downer. ETH is leaving the bridge there. I've got some the snapshots. Which one's the recent one? The 7th there. What's this one here? That is, what day is that? The 8th. So we'll take this one. So on the 8th we had 6,726 ETH. We've got 6,568 right now. So we'll be down 600. Maybe 150 ETH, 140 ETH down. So that's why that's not really moving too much there. The good news though is DAI is up. So DAI is up 150, maybe 200,000. So DAI is actually up as well. So that's kind of cool on the DAI. And then we've got EHEX there. How's EHEX doing? Yeah, EHEX is up a lot. So we were down at 18.9 million, but we're up at 20.25 million now. And we're only at 107.4 million on the 8th. So that's about a week ago, right? That's the play. And what else is pretty interesting? USDC's down, unfortunately, 325,000. Coast is the same. USD Tether is actually up $100,000, so that's good news. And of course, Bitcoin is pretty similar, and we're up about $190,000 in Bitcoin. So that is the mark. A bit of a mixed results there, but we are overall up, and of course, Hex playing part of that role at the moment. So it's kind of the play. All right, let's see. So that is the play right now on the old numbers there. So let's jump over to the rest of it. We're going to get into Pulse, of course, and have a look at the major chart on the chart here on PulseChain. Let's get rid of the overlays. That's sort of our story overlay there. But we're about to push higher, guys. We are about to push higher in Pulse. It really does look like it's about to go. But we don't have a lot of room on the RSI. We have definitely, it was good that we cooled off a little bit. You can see we cooled off on the RSI and the daily, got down to about 59. We're currently at 68, but oversold 70, right? Leaving it at territory. We can move in there, of course. There's no problem with that, and get up to say the 80 or 85. So we have got a room to move on the price. We have got a golden cross here on the averages, 50-day, 200-day. And so we'll keep tracking on that, right? So that is the play. 4 hourly, let's have a look at that. 4 hourly there. Yeah, we've got plenty of room for a nice little push there into overbought territory. 60 right now, and we're just sort of being capped. Look at that, we're being capped. Market makers not interested in moving us quite yet, just letting it build up a little bit, I think. But yeah, we may very well see someone give us a pop in the charts there. Keep a lookout for that and go, doo! Let's see. Obviously, we're waiting for some God mode candles at some stage, and we've been talking to Richard Hart, and that was not Richard Hart. That was not Richard Hart. I'm talking to Richard Hart. Yeah, you can come in, Richard. You can come in because obviously we've been talking about these things here, right?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
Yeah. So, we could see one of those at any time, right? Anytime. We've got plenty of room on the weekly, of course, the weekly there. But, we're coming up to the deliveries in like a week or something like that. So, maybe it just chills around for a little bit. We definitely look like we're still creeping up right now. We have got bullish cross of the 9-day over the 21-day on the weekly. The 9 weekly average over the 21, and also just crossed over the 34 as well. And of course, the 50 is right up here at 4,300. So we've got a nice little move here, a little bit of a lopsided W there, I guess, as well. And the RSI there just slowly tracking up at 61, and maybe another week to go until we get Richard Hart's marketing dropping in the United States like a bomb. So we're going to look to see all that. All right, so that's kind of play there. Let's jump into the other markets here. We've got Hex, right? Hex is doing pretty well, just really getting ready to rock, really. Let's get rid of the overlays also and go full mode. Obviously, the golden crosses are all in play. We're riding up the 9 at the moment. The RSI is even looking better on Hex, by the way. So Hex looks like it's even got more room to move. 60 there on the Hex. So Hex is looking real good. And we've got that nice consolidation sideways, kind of what you want to see, right? What you want to see. And we're also, look at the 4 hourly here. Look at that. It's just on the RSI 51, just tracking there as well. So Hex is looking really getting ready for that move. Obviously, we've got a bit of relatively play with the majors on the move right now, like the Ethereum, etc. But that's definitely looking pretty good for the old Hex. Look at the weekly. And the weekly there is at 1.25 penny. And we've got all the similar kind of moving averages. RSI down at 58. So, yeah, looking really good. Nice sort of weird looking W there as well. Let's have a look at the ratio to pulse, of course, because Hex the pulse. And where we're up there right now, we're sitting at 236 pulse per 1 Hex, sitting right in the mix there. So no real clear signal there on that one, but the US dollars is definitely on the move there. So, moving pulse, shave off a nice cool, just a 10 million for 2X. I mean, we're not asking too much, right? 10X. Everyone's going 100 million, shave it now. No, not yet for 100 million. Wait till we get to like 2.5 billion or something and do a little $100 million buy. I don't know. Or scaling and buy. Just help print that chart to parabolics. All right, so that is the play there on the old Hex. And of course, we're going to get to Pulse Hex with the ratio. We've been following that, right? Pulse here, obviously, also doing similar. They all look pretty similar, right? So, but let's go to the Pulse ratio. and that is intact still. It's certainly coming down to test. Test would be 75. We're currently at 76.6. That's per PulseX. Yeah, that's right. And finally, what else we got? Incentive token. We didn't look at this the other day, so we'll have a quick look at it. Got to keep track of the time here. But that's kind of the move there as well. And we've got plenty of room on the day. Look at that on incentive token. Even the best L on 55, 56. So there might be relatively bigger gains on the old incentive token there, given there's lots more room to move. And on the 4 hourly there, yeah, sitting at 50 as well. And on the weekly, so we'll look at that. Weekly there is pretty nice at 55. So everything's looking pretty good. We're also getting a bullish cross here on the weekly with the 9 weekly over the 34. So that's looking pretty good too. I don't have a 21 on there, but that is the mix right now. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio. And let's see what that is. Bam. And pulse ratio there has been slipping at 39, just below 40,000 at the moment. So at the bottom of the range on there. So that's the play right now. And of course, EHEX had a nice little push up yesterday, didn't it? At 21/100th of a penny. So that's kind of the mark there. Let's go into the overall coins and have a look at that. And let's see what's going on there. So we've got $38.4 million in volume, 403,000 transactions right now. And we've got quite a few coins on the market there. We've got Dino been around for 23 hours, up 3,000%. We've got Homer Crypto Rich there is up 321%, been around for 40 minutes. So it just launched. So if you want to jump onto that DGN play, that's just launched. We got Liberty there as well, 136% on the move right now. I guess this is what someone was talking about earlier in the chat. And that is up 136%, been around for 2 months. Pulse Land, which is this new 3D world, isn't it? I think if that's the official token, you must have the check first, but that's up 113%. Around for a month there. And of course, Hexagon A from Pulsealium Farm, which I just did some coverage on that yesterday. That's up 40%. Reserve Tay there, so number 6 and 7 is up 13% there at the moment. Tripper up 12% from James Maria. And we got Pulsealium, the farm. So Pulsealium having a nice little pullback, a push up today. And that is sitting at number 11, up at 10% there. And Blitz as well. So Blitz, Hex A are all part of the Pulsealium farm. So they are dominating there along with James Maria. A little bit of new tokens. That's kind of the mix there. Teddy Bear down here as well. James Maria 13-14. And then Monet Money there, one of the competing ecosystems, up 7% there. Number 17, GoPulse up 6%. 9mm Dex up 6%. And BFF there from OG WebChef as well, up 6%. And then we've got some pump tires in there. Bitcoin sitting at number 21, up 5%. So I'm not going to go through all the rest today. We're going to pick off a few honorable mentions below 5% up today, which is Surf token there, sitting up 2.5%. Love.io up 1.7% there right now. Rhinify up a little bit there, just above 1%. And of course, they've got their charging buy and burn going on right now, which is pretty cool, their first cycle. And what else there? PulseX obviously in the mix there on the green. UFO is also on a little bit of green there, sitting at 4,000, 4,000, and SolidX is $13.32, waiting for the big decentralized casino X game to launch, right? We're kind of waiting patiently for that. Some of the other ones down here, Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. Who else is down there? Teddy Takeover, Moon King and Ian Heiner supporting that. Source on Mini Meal, sitting at 4.8 cents right now, just down slightly, along with Hex, so in good company. We got Sparta there with the Hex DAO, down 1.7%, 9-inch. The other DEX down 1.8% right now at number 61. ALGO on the back of Hex sitting at number 63, down 3%. And PTC the Greys sitting at 65 after that beautiful run, didn't it? To 0008000, now at 0007000, down 3% today. Liquid Loans, of course, getting a little bit of flack out there yesterday. I did find the Rack and Michelle comments in the Rack and Michelle group there on that one. And so we'll see, keep a track on that theme moving forward with the old Liquid Loans. BBC down here at number 72 as well. What else there? Let's just jump through some of these. Beast token from OG WebChef down 5%, sitting at 36 cents right now. Haven't really fully recovered. Had a little bit of a bounce, but not too much. And then Pump Tire sitting at number 82 at 1.7 cents, down 5% right now. For Investor itself is OG WebChef is $11.24, down 5%. What else there? Most token Pump Tires in their mix there. I've just jumped away. Bri token from Rack and Michelle had a nice little pump yesterday and then got a sell-off too. So there we go. And of course, they've just had a launch. I don't know why. They got a launch of Vox coming up. I think they have. But they got a sell-off yesterday in the last couple of hours. Looking having a rebound right now. But they're going on to Vox Farm. Has it been officially announced? I think it may have on the old Vox Farm. So shall we go have a look? Let's have a look at Vox. and see whether there's a Briar pool there. That'll be the first pool, wouldn't it? First pool for Briar token. Yeah, there it is, right at the top there, guys. 700% yield right now. Presumably it's open, and it got TVL of 2,700 in it right now. So that's got a 1% entrance fee and the old Briar. So that is launched, guys. The old Vox has got Briar. So you got Briar, you can match it with Vox and start earning some decent little passive income there on the old Vox. So if you want to check that out, post a link to that in the chat. Bam, bam, bam. Congratulations to Briar and Vox. And of course, that's Rack and Michelle's meme coin that he's adopted now. So definitely check that out. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so kind of cool. Let us go. Let's go. So let's have a little pump on the back of that. Nice little rebound there as well. Now, of course, Rack and Michelle talking about really supporting that. Now, what else are we going to talk about? Now, I did post out this yesterday. This is our second article on the farms. So if you haven't checked out the first one, and this is the second one. And of course, the top 6 crypto farms on PulseChain, passive income and DeFi features and innovations. Check this out, and don't forget to share it around. We have Emmett Farm on there with all of its kind of new unique features. I want to pull out a lot of the unique features, a lot of the special features out of the farms, and they're all listed here. So you can check them all out with Emmett Farm. We've got Nexian Farm there as well. And then we've also got Vox Farm, which we just showed you. And then, of course, we've also got Function On as well. And then number 5, we've got Porcelain, which is, at the top of the charts right now with a rebound. And then, of course, we've got 9-inch out there as well. And, of course, Hexy Bastard came back recently and said, hey, look, I'm back from wherever he's been. And he's going to be looking at big things are coming for 9-inch. So this has kind of been a little bit left to the side. It's still got some decent yields and things in it. But let's see what happens in that space as well. And, of course, a lot of these will get re-rated as we have a boom on PulseChain. Once we really start taking off, a lot of these farm ones will probably start getting re-rated, particularly the DEX, strong DEXs with it, if they got V2, V3 DEXs, things like that. So that is the mark there. So check that all out. Some great farms in there, the top 6, and that's pretty much most of them on the PulseChain. There's a couple of ones that I could probably put on there. I haven't got the famous universe stuff on there, right? So probably should have put that on there, but maybe that's for another day. Maybe it's for another day. In fact, it is for another day because we're doing different articles to highlight PulseChain as educational pieces, right? So there's going to be educational pieces. So definitely help share them around because we don't have enough education out there, and we're going to be ramping this up. Now, we're not just doing farms. We're going to be doing other categories on PulseChain with articles coming from the Crypto Night Show. And all you guys have to do is repost them and share them around so that people get to learn more and more and more about the PulseChain ecosystem because we really do lack it, guys. We really do lack it. And so that's why we've started it up. So it's going to be great. And we're going to have at least 5 articles coming for the farms, but there's going to be other categories, as I say, and more publications to come. That's brought to you by the Crypto Night Show, of course. And farming is cool. So get out there and share that around. Let me post that link in the chat there. And if you share it around, it'll be really, really helpful to growing PulseChain. Help grow PulseChain. And that is the link right there. Bam. So we're going to do a lot of educational pieces from the Crypto Night Show. As you guys know, we also do professional promotions as well. So if you want our team out there want to get promoted because, hey, look, you can have the best protocol in the world, but people don't see you. It's impossible to get much traction. And so that's why we're here to help. And we do it at very modest prices, of course. Some of the big teams, they don't need it because they're big. You're talking about maybe a dozen teams at most. But many of the other, hundreds of other teams potentially need a lot of help getting seen, right? And some of them have great protocols. And for those that don't, they die, right? They die. So just get out there, folks, and enjoy. And some of these farms are really some of the rising stars in the old PulseChain. So pretty cool. Christine says, good show. I appreciate that, Christine. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have Christine in the house. Very, very cool. All right, so that is the mark. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get into Titanx. And before we do, we've got some Titanx comments from Titanx Value. He says, what we need is a Titanx YouTube streaming army. Well, like I said to you, we do have one. There's an organized Telegram group with them all in there. And we talk all the time in there. So it's definitely there. Highlighting the benefits of our fair launch, mint your own coins, auctions, mining, feed coins, leverage on leverage, polonomics, polonomics, techniques unique to the Titanx value of the PulseChain leverage system. Build on Titanx system with PulseChain bridging. Yes, indeed. Well, we do have a whole bunch of them. And so, they are going to ramp up, as the prices find the bottom and looks like they're starting to move. We can see that now on the charts, right? So let's go to full screen and have a look at Titanx ecosystem on Ethereum. This will be our last topic today, along with Torus. And of course, here we have Titanx right now. Let's have a look at the chart, right? So everything looks starting to go green because Ethereum is green, right? But these are up bigger percentages. So let's have a look where Titanx is. The bottom in for Titanx? That's the question. If you buy the bottom, you're really laughing, right? So we're definitely having a rise on the US price. Got up to 602,700. Just taking a little bit of profit here, as you can see on the chart there. About 20k of sales there. Let's have a look at the daily. That was the 15-minute chart, and we can see we've got some nice little action happening here. Definitely high low in place. So we had the lows down here at the 6 zeros 1100. We had the last low at 6 zeros 1700. And now having a little rally up to 2600. But of course, Ethereum has rised. So really what we want to look at is the ETH price, right, of Titanx. We can see we've had a nice little rise in that too on the 15-minute. A little bit of selling here right now. But let's go to the daily. That is the chart. And let's log that baby. So yeah, we had the low time, is the all-time low too, at 10 zeros 4600. We had a nice little rally here up to 5500. So is this the beginning of something beautiful? Obviously, we've got to get over 5800 here, 10 zeros 5800 to start really moving up. But maybe little signs that Titanx is getting a little bit of life in it as well. And of course, if you pick the bottom, it could be pretty cool. But at the moment, people are making relativity plays and other stuff, so they're making bigger returns, generally speaking. But we have got nice little movements on Titanx today. And as you guys know, this is a sleeping giant, right? Because this is sitting on 55,000, sorry, not 55, 5,500 ETH inside Titanx just by itself, let alone some of the supporting protocols on the layer 2. So yeah, at the moment we've got just under 68 trillion in liquid supply. That's $17.8 million at the current price of ETH. So just remember that number, 17.8 million. And then we've got the buy and burn sitting at 21 million, guys. So it's over collateralized. It's a bit like a liquidity fork, but it's got a buy and burn. So it's an active treasury. Potentially, it's turned off right now, but that is the mark, 21 million. And of course, Jake Sharp will be looking at that and thinking about where the prices are going this year. So if you want to think when he might be using any of this, if he does at all, then you've got to think about the end of the year. But of course, he's working on some special project to burn Titanx via X28. So everyone's waiting to see what sort of magic has he got there with that. And of course, he's teased about that before. So we'll see what happens there. Now, in addition to the 4,452 ETH here, which would get it nicely positioned around number 27 on the strategic ETH reserve, let's have a look at the amount of money in the 888 staking pool. There's another 1,100 ETH, another $5.2 million. So now you're at $26.25 million now, just sitting in Titanx. So that is huge, right? And of course, the supply was about 18. So you're well in addition to that, right? So well in addition to that. So pretty cool. Looking forward to the big moves. Anyway, so that is kind of the market. Let's jump over to the other ones that are on the move right now. We've got the Dragonex up 15%. It's got its own treasury in there, right, with several $1 million in it. Let's have a quick look at that quickly. And just got to keep track of time here. Now in 3 minutes. We're not doing too bad. Let's go to the stats, I guess. Hopefully that's the right one. Not the right one. Is it the DAO? The DAO page? I always get this wrong. You guys know. Every time I do it wrong. Yeah, I can't see the money here, but it's on one of these other pages, isn't it? Is it on one of these other pages? Enter the DApp. I don't know if that's the right one. There it is there. Okay, cool. All right, so we're sitting on $4.4 million of ETH sitting in here, guys. $4.4 million of ETH sitting in Dragonex in addition to all that stuff over it. So we're over $30 million now, aren't we, in the Titanx ecosystem right now? And it's not even been turned on. These are active treasuries right now. Now, the other thing is, of course, Dragonex could get itself listed on the strategic ETH reserve because it's got over 900 ETH and it's getting some of that 1100 ETH, right? Maybe about 50% of it. So, it's another 500. So, it's looking at about 1400 ETH, or give or take, on the Dragonex. So that could get itself, decent rank too on the strategic ETH reserve also. So that's pretty interesting. All right, so let's see if these founders can get themselves listed on the old strategic ETH reserve, right? That'd be pretty cool. How do they do that, right? How do they do that? Well, they have to go and ask. Right? So they have to go down the bottom here, and they have to go and hit this guy up, Fabda, right? Fabda.eth. And of course, you can join the movement with the button on the right. So there we go. Get out there, guys. Get out there and get yourself listed. That's all we can say. All right, so that is the play on the old Dragonex, and of course, pretty cool. In fact, where would they be? Let's say they had 1,400. Would that put them? That would put them around about number 44 right now. So that'd be cool. They'd be around number 44 with HereDAO. Funny enough, HereDAO. So that is the mark right now. And that is Dragonex. And of course, it goes on to Helios as well. But we're not going to go down there. Let's have a look at pick up some of the big moves. Hydra up 24% right now. Morpheus from Brandon doing amazing, up 18%. Element up 24% from the dude. Eden up quite a bit. Viper up quite a bit there. And H24 up 40% as well, I think, over on the base chain. So that's kind of cool there. Let's have a look at some of the marks here. We're going to jump through to Torus. Torus right now sitting at day 35. Can you believe it? 7 hours into the mix here. Day 35. These are the stats. So let's get into it. So the payout pool right now has gone down to 97,316. So every day there's additional Torus, but there's a max of 125 million that's possible. And of course, it's going to get burned off as well. So, it's going to be less than that. But at the moment, we're getting 97,316 payout on day 35. It started off at 100,000 on day one, and it's going down by 0.8% per day. So that's the rewards there. The amount of liquid supply, 1,493, looking really good. This is surprising to the upside, this protocol, Torus at 5.5%. And the total supply right now, 20,321. The burn at 2,800 almost. And the stake Torus at 5,500. The total shares, though, is a pretty important part. So out of all those rewards, people, the more shares they get, the more diluted in sense of more as redistributed the rewards are. And we're sitting at 3.26 billion shares right now. And that's going to change, I guess, in the future. We're going to see how that all plays out. But total Titanx burn 220 billion. And of course, this protocol is coming to what? PulseChain. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to quickly add up the amount there. Just let me quickly check something here. And let's have a look. We're going to change. Let me just jump on there. And let's have a look here. Oh, cool. So that works out pretty cool. I had an appointment, but it's been delayed. So that's cool. That works out for us very well, guys. It means I can continue on with this commentary. So that is the burn. Let's count it up. We've got plenty of time now. My appointment's delayed. And let's get into the mix here. It's so much better when you got more time on your hands. You don't have to rush things. So here we are. We got, let's add up the money. So we're at 173. It just went up while we were doing it. 173 plus 344. So we have a buy and burn has $517,000. That's over $500,000, guys. Get excited. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is fantastic. So looking good. Looking good. And Christine, the show just got better. The show just got better. It's got better. All right, so over $500,000 is finally made. So congratulations to Cryptographics. Obviously a huge influence in the PulseChain Titanx community, and also a founder now of, I think, some brilliant tokenomics. Everyone's in the hunt for the Holy Grail. I think this is a huge step in that direction, and so far so good. It's early days still, and we're on day 35, but man, it's going fast, isn't it? Going fast, and we're at the bull market, right time, right place. Very exciting there. And the buy and burn, let's look at that, 109. So 109, we've got 350 in the buy and burn, buy and build. It's building up liquidity. The bull part's really just about building up liquidity, making it a much better protocol from a lot of reasons. So let's add that into the mix. So another 350, and that's looking pretty good. And let's add that in. So we're now at, let me just go back here. We're now at $867,000 in the buy and burn. Of course, as ETH goes up and as Titanx goes up, it all gets more valuable, right? That's pretty much it. Fractal, we got the Fractal. This is day 110. This is going to fill up the buy and burn. It's going to be put in here later on. This is called on day 110 as a backstop, I guess. Backstop or booster, you decide. Christine said, "Lol, yeah, it does, yeah, it does." So that's kind of the play there. We've gone up to we've got another 75 plus a 176 in there. So let's add that in. So 75 plus 176 or 176. Have we had $1 million today? Let's see. Bam. Yes, we have 1.1 million. In fact, OMG, we're at $1,118,000. ETH's going to the moon. Titanx has started to push it back up on the ratio a little bit, and this is starting to re-rate. And I said that this was going to be huge. So this could go up by millions, and we get going through these ETH prices, and then the ratio of the Titanx goes up. It suddenly gets into multi-millions very quickly, and that's exciting times. Of course, that helps push up all the value in the protocol. So we're at $8.40 right now in the Torus price. It moves around between like $7.50 and $9.50 at the moment. So in that sort of range, I think. I don't know if we've been over $9 for a day or two, but definitely in that $7.50 to $9 range. And the stats are looking pretty good. Let's go to the stats on the dude stuff on the June, I should say. Let's have a quick look at that. Christine goes bam, bam indeed. All right, so let's have a look at this. $1.4 million is gone. It's 11 hours old, so it doesn't take in all the new prices increases in Titanx and ETH. So this is way higher than that, but 1.4 million. So I would suggest to you, we're probably, I don't know, we're probably at 1.7 or something like that now, as my guess is in the mark there. 102 ETH, and we're probably over 100 ETH now, or at least around that mark. Oh, this is a little bit overstated, says cryptographics. 3.8 trillion has been deposited in the protocol. I don't know why the website on Titanx isn't updated, because it's still showing 355, but 3.8 trillion is in the mix, and of course it's probably gone up slightly too. Looking at the Torus, 12 million Torus now. This has been updated 3 hours ago. So this is a bit more recent. So we now got 12 million in future supply. Remember, we've only got 20,000 right now, guys. 20,300, and we're going to have 19.1 million in the future. So there we go. Now, how much we're going to have? Well, this profile here shows it. We're going to on day 88, we're going to jump from 1.67 million all the way up to 3.4 million. It's going to be a doubling of supply in that day. And of course, I think we're going to see some interesting things happen moving forward there. I think this is all redistributing, right? So how do we see this total volume? There's the total amount of Torus in the future. So by the time we get to day 123, we're going to have 12.1 million, right? Day 123. But of course, this is getting redistributed. So as more people come, it's getting redistributed to more and more people. And in particular, specific. So we don't know exactly the number unique people, but the number of wallets, let's say, making creations and stakes. So that's kind of that's quite a different meaning. But we can see that day 89, the big candle, is continuing to fall. 1.7 million. As more people come in and make creations and stakes, then it gets redistributed amongst all these other candles, and they all get pushed down essentially as we move forward in time. Time is our friend in this case, because it's pushing them out into new candles as people come in. Because people come in, they go 88 days, they get they get some of this other stuff gets redistributed to them, and therefore they get flatter, right? That's kind of the idea. Kind of cool. And what else there? We're seeing some real jumps. Look at this jump around. Day 120, we had a lot of people going in. Day 122, and we've got big redistribution candles going on there. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, so moving to day, as you guys know, day 427, which is this day here, was the first day we started having a little bit of a jump in the inflation. And the next day we're expecting it is day 47, right? So day 47, we have a big jump from in that. So from 2,000 to 12,000 new tokens. So that's kind of the next big day. We do have other big days before that, 3,600, but really the big day is that 47, and then we slowly creep up. And then I guess the next big day is when we start getting to day, 58 really. And then we start creeping up pretty quickly. And then we start getting to big days like day 69 is quite big. And then we start getting into big days 73 onwards, right? That starts ramping up there. But they're all getting flatter, right? They're all getting flatter as more people come in. We've still got plenty of time to go before we even get there, right? So it's kind of cool. What else? That's pretty much it at there. Let's go have a look at the total creations. 1,836, 10 hours old, 164 stakes. And we can see the trend there that we have had a few ebbs and flows. Definitely tapered off recently. But it's still ticking away there. We've definitely gone down to 16, 13, definitely tapered away. Are we going to have ebbs and flows though? Moving forward, we're going to see. We're only on day 33. Still got another good 30 to 50 days before we get to the first day 89. So we'll keep a look at that. But the big surprise we had was day 33. We had 5 stakes. That was a real surprise. And we're going to see more of that. Obviously, this is really designed as a staking protocol with some ROI features to get drive incentives. That's kind of where we are right now. So that is the mark there on Torus. I wish it was a little bit more updated, but that's kind of where we are on that one. So $1.1 million in the buy and burn capture, and of course, exciting times. So we'll see what happens in the future. Going to be pretty exciting. Tomba says Torus seems to be doing well with the new coins coming out. I guess maybe people are holding or staking with them overselling. Yeah, and why would they do that? Well, because if you're creating at the moment, you've got an 8,900% ROI with daily that's 100%. Obviously, that's going to be moving around a lot in the future as we will get re-rates and prices, right? And the stake there is 2,750%. So some people are staking, and of course with staking you get optionality, right? You pay a 5% extra fee to go on staking, but you get optionality in the fact that you can early in stake 50%, and if you go to 75%, I think you get 50% of your future coins, your earned Torus, and so on. But you keep your stake Torus no matter what. You stake Torus, right? So you get some optionality there, and that might be useful in the chart, right? That's how the game plays for the short players. They want to do staking, but really it's designed as long term. And at the moment, we're at 98% on daily. Now, what I was going to say about this is that if we do get the ratio price coming down relative to Torus, somewhere just above 10 million Titanx per Torus, then that means that the creation yield will flip. Instead of creating being the better yield, staking will be better yield. And of course, you'll also have optionality as well regarding end stakes and stuff like that. So that is the mark there. The other thing, of course, with creations and stakes, we're always going to have maybe probably 1, 2, 3% of the people never even claim, so they get burned off. They never even claim them, they never come to the market. So that's a supply sink. The other thing, of course, we got up to 14 days before people can claim. So they may not claim straight away. They may claim, instead of claiming day 89, they may claim, day 100 or something like that, right towards the end. So they've got a 14-day window. So that's going to mess things up a little bit in terms of timing. That's out there too, some little wild cards. Now, obviously, this is going to be coming to PulseChain called Unity. And we're excited about that, right? So Unity is coming to PulseChain. It's going to be the same thing as Torus on Ethereum and Titanix, but it's coming to PulseChain. And this is going to be very, very exciting. So look for that. Truly the first of its kind on PulseChain. And instead of using Titanix and Ethereum, it's going to be using Pulse and PulseX. And we've got a pretty well-established community in PulseChain. So I think it's going to do pretty well. I think we're going to see a lot of Unity blasted out there on the PulseChain X sphere and YouTube and everything else. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. We see that Cryptographics is doing the influencer rounds. He was on RG3 just the other day. And I think he's going to be on many other channels as well. So Cryptographics out there, obviously I think one of our best streamers out there. Extremely good at everything he does. I think educational videos have been his claim to fame in particular. But obviously we're seeing the fact that he really can do just about everything. He's one of those all-round high achievers. So there we go. Pretty exciting to see where this will all go, and looking forward to it. Wishing him the best. And you just never know, guys. You just never know. We might have a stream coming out with Cryptographics soon. You just never know. Just keep a lookout for that. But it's pretty exciting. So here we are, an hour and 16 minutes into the live stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed talking about it all. Yeah, if you guys haven't got anything else you're going to talk about, let us know. Let's have a quick look at the crypto prices right now. Bitcoin sitting at 123,600. And of course, we saw it to 24,000 live on the show. Ethereum is sitting at 47.23 based on CoinGecko. That's the mark there. And of course, looking at PulseChain just briefly, let's have a look at PulseChain just one more time. We have got the marks just sitting there, cooling off, letting the RSI there. The market makers, obviously, other whales, they're sitting in Ethereum, riding the Ethereum wave. But we're waiting for, a bit of movement here on X. But in the meantime, the RSI does get to chill if we move sideways. And then we can, have a lot of room for moves. So we'll keep a tabs on the old PulseChain charts. That is pretty much our mark today. And we see a little bit of life happening in the old Titanix. So Polygon says on PulseChain, awesome. Absolutely awesome there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's pretty much it. Now in 17 minutes on the hour, we're going to leave it there. And we're going to do one more of our cool things for Brian. He has been an incredible supporter of the channel and a very good friend for me, I believe. And so we're going to give him some more fireworks. How about that? Take care, everybody. Hey, thanks very much to all the moderators and community members in our Discord and Telegram. Really do appreciate everything you do. Wookie, Brenton, everybody in the team there. Brian, of course. The ladies, of course. Nita, Sandy Beach, and many others in there. Really is awesome to have you all in the community. If you guys haven't joined the Strategy Club, the link's in the video description, and join up to that. And of course, our community membership as well. There's a private Discord, so join up today. There's a bunch of really great people, and we're going to enjoy this bull market. We're pretty much seeing it all on PulseChain during when they actually happen. It's a great place to be if you want to witness all the cool events that happen on PulseChain and get all the backstory from all our knowledge about it too. It is a great place to be. So I hope you enjoyed it. Special shout out to Brian, I hope you guys enjoy this bull market, man. It's really just starting to ramp up, and it's just a privilege to share the journey with you guys. Very, very cool. All right, so all right, so we're going to leave it there. I'll catch you on the next show. Take care, everybody, and bye for now.